Hey, good morning, friends. Today, my friends, is Friday, June the 26th, 2026, and the time now is 9 o'clock a.m. So, friends, I want to talk about the World Cup, the FIFA World Cup 2026, and I want to talk briefly and specifically about Turkey. Now, this World Cup was probably one of the most anticipated World Cup in history. Also, it is perhaps one of the most historical or one of the most consequential World Cup in history. So many things have happened since the World Cup began, and also even before the World Cup began. However, friends, I want to talk about Turkey or Turkiya. Now, Turkiya is a very interesting country. It's one of the countries in Europe, one of the NATO countries. Compared to many countries in the world, Turkey has a good football program or league. Turkey has a good football national team. Turkey has been one of the countries that many had been anticipating or projecting to have been perhaps not contender in terms of the high level to win this World Cup 2026, but to be a great contender to basically make history. Turkey has made history in this World Cup, however. Yes, we can say that perhaps the history that Turkey made this World Cup may not be the history that many might have been anticipating. Now, in its group stage, Turkey lost two of its games, and Turkey played yesterday. Turkey played the United States yesterday. Turkey, even though many Americans were anticipating victory, many Americans were very much enthusiastic about the game, and they have to. Basically, the United States has shocked everyone. The United States won its first two games, and the United States won its first two games beautifully with some amazing goals. And you can see that American players, they are good runners, they are thirsty, and they are hungry for a victory. So, because of that, the national esteem and the pride for many Americans, okay, for their national team and the performance of the United States team in this World Cup basically increased drastically. So as a result, many were anticipating another victory. And you can hear and see Americans talking boldly as if, yes, we are going to destroy Turkey. And honestly, many had counted Turkey out. And even myself, because of the way Turkey played in its first two games, I didn't think Turkey was even going to be successful in its last group games. However, friends, Turkey played the United States yesterday, and Turkey actually won 3-2. And in fact, the United States scored first within the first 3 minutes or so. The United States scored. But at the end, Turkey emerged the victorious country, the victor in the match with the United States. So for many citizens and supporters of Turkey, perhaps Turkey may not advance to the next stage, the round of 32, being that it lost the first two games. And as of now, Turkey only has about 3 points. Based on how the first round result, who knows? Maybe there are other terrible records out there, which for some reason, because Turkey has 3 points, Turkey might be able to slide into the top eight groups to advance to the next round. the round of 32. However, as of where it stands, it seems as if Turkey is out. Many were anticipating that Turkey was going to do good. It was supposed to be one of the stronger teams. It was supposed to be much stronger than even the United States of America. However, Turkey lost its first two games, and Turkey finally won its last group game with the United States, beating the United States 3-2. Now, perhaps the country Turkey, its football association may want to begin to examine its program, trying to see, okay, what went wrong in this World Cup? What can we do to basically prepare for the next stage or the next possible entry or campaign into the next World Cup? Basically, overhaul our system, trying to cultivate a good program to build, okay, to grow, to develop better players, good talents out there. But for Turkey, I'm sure this is a humiliating disappointment in this World Cup. Turkey did not do good at all. Perhaps it could have been the case that even though it was supposed to be one of the best country, still could not have advanced or could have advanced to the next round, the round of 32, and be knocked out immediately. However, just losing your first two games and not being able to advance to the round of 32, I think for any country, and even countries such as Turkey, that is supposed to be having a good system, is a humiliating defeat and campaign for Turkey. Now, friends, please tell me what you think. And I really, friends, I really want to know what you think. However, friends, I am going to end here. I want to thank you for being a member of the Echoing Voice community, my friends. But most especially and most importantly, or most important, my friends, I want to thank you a lot for watching the Echoing Voice. Peace, my friends. Peace.